Hi, this is John, the owner and developer of VectorDecks. In this discussion, we're going to go over all the different powerful edit capabilities you're going to have with respect to VectorDecks Frame tool. And as I mentioned in some of the other tutorials, the VectorDecks frame is the parent, and all the other objects you'll be adding to your drawing will be its children. So as a parent, it's going to need a lot of power, and I gave it just that. Once you select that frame, you'll see in the object information palette some can change, but we're going to discuss these two powerful buttons, the SunDeck settings and the SunDeck rail settings. But for this tutorial, we're going to work with the SunDeck settings. Clicking on it is going to bring up a window with these four options here, and as you click on those, it changes what appears in the window. The first one we're going to talk about is this deck frame. It gives you a little version of your actual deck surface so you can get an idea how things will look before you apply them. By default, the VectorDecks frame will always draw a deck with a pressure treated 2x6 type of appearance with a trim, a double trim, and 2x8 joists. This is pretty much the standard default settings. You could change how that appears in this little window. And down here you can change the appearance of the decking surface. We can make this, let's say, a composite 2x6. I could shift that in a diagonal direction, make it 45 degrees. I can change the type of joist, and when you change things in here, you'll see the change over in this section panel. I'm going to leave that at 2x8. The joist on center you can change. Some people would like to have a border put on the deck, and that would be like a piece of the same material, a 2x material laid flat on the surface around the outside edge of the deck. Yeah, I'll show you that here. Let's give it a darker color to it, let's say a brown. And the 2x6 is 5.5 inches. If you change this, for example, to 11, it'll give it a 2-board border. So I'm going to go back to a 5.5 inches here. The other thing in this cross section, it gives you a good understanding of what that outside trim is going to look like. I made this by default a 2-piece finish. You can make it out of 1 if you just want to put a 1 piece of fascia, and then you can extend that down so it covers the whole side of the deck. I kind of always like to have that 2-piece. It just breaks that deck up nice. But you'll see how things look before you can apply it and change the decking surface. If you hit cancel, everything you just made will go back to their defaults. But I'm going to click OK and show you how this will change that deck surface. I'm going to go ahead and select that deck frame again and convert it to 3D. And it's going to go ahead and convert all the components to 3D. Let me get in a more three-dimensional look, right isometric. I'll render this in OpenGL. And you can see here how it made those changes. It added that border. It shows that decking as a composite amber look, and you were able to see this before you applied it to the actual deck surface. Now you can go back and make any other changes that you wanted. If you want to go and make that a gray surface instead of that amber, I'm going to turn that border off and make that angle come in this direction. Reverse that. Go ahead and click OK. Now because I was still in a rendered mode in 3D, it just takes a little longer to redraw. So it's not quick to make any changes in that frame section in the settings. A quick note that if you make any changes to your fascia, make it a 1-piece or a 2-piece or different color, it'll also change the step because the step is set to use deck info. Now in the next tutorial, we'll go over this particular menu. It's called Deck Edges.